Hello, this is a map strategy for Malinovka for passive spotting locations in the normal battle mode. And I'm going to cover the north spawn first, and then I'm going to cover the south spawn. So what you're going to notice is that I've identified various places that you can see on the map here where light tanks will commonly go to. Actually, there's one more which I'm going to add. These are places where light tanks like to go to do passive scouting. I'm going to measure out 445. See where it is. Okay, it's right over. It is, okay, I see where it is. I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to draw it out to there. I believe that is correct. I'm going to measure it. No, that is not correct. Okay, I did the wrong one. So this is how I did it. I drew the locations and measured everything, make sure it's correct. Okay, it's not quite 445. Yeah, it's pretty close. It's close. And I identified the popular locations, which we've already pinged. And the reason why I did this is I'm going to show you that some locations are superior to other locations. Now, the green diamonds are spotting locations that light tank players use. Again, there's here, 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 and here. And I did not include this position because it's not likely to be used for the duration of battle because you're going to get spotted quickly. Now, what you're going to notice is that each location has a different coverage on the map. Okay, I also wanted to add that I've added locations where you're likely to find enemy tanks. And there's certain spotting locations that have far superior coverage to other locations. So now let's cover this location first. This location can cover anyone that uses this position, which is usually going to be a medium tank. The medium tanks, they advance up through here and they come over here and they try to scout out this area. So you can spot that guy. And these guys over here, they're going to get spotted by the heavy tanks. So you're not going to spot these tanks. And maybe you can spot the tank destroyer that's going to sit over here, but it's unlikely. So really, there's only one tank that you can spot from that position, which is probably why it's not a popular position. So the next position is this position right here. Now this position gives you a little bit more, but it really doesn't give you that much more. And this is kind of like at the halfway point between the two sides. There's a small bush that either team can use. It's a very small bush, so you can easily get spotted here. So you can spot light tanks that set up here, tank destroyers that set up here, medium tanks that come over here, and there's a chance you might get proximity spotted or spotted because, like I said, the bush is very small. You can spot tank destroyers over here, tank destroyers over here, and maybe the heavy tanks in these positions. So it gives you a little bit more. The next position is this one here, which is one of the more popular spotting positions. A lot of people like to go out here. But you notice you can only spot the light tank here, the tank destroyer here, the medium tank over here. You might get proximity spotted. The next position is over here. This is a very popular position, but it has a huge disadvantage. It gives you more spotting here in the south, but it doesn't allow you to hit the tanks that are in this position. There's a little hill over here where tanks like to set up before they make their advance across the south. And this position cannot spot that. And this position spots over here and here and here, but they're not useful. You know, the enemy's not going to be here. So it's really not a good position. So then you have this position over here. This is a superior position, and I believe it's the best position on the map. It allows you to spot this tank and these tanks and this tank and this tank and these tanks and any tanks that are in the base area. It adds these positions over here, which is not that special, but it allows you to cover more of the map than any other spotting location. And I do play this position and I do get good games out of it. So I highly recommend this position. And the other good thing about this position is that it will prevent the enemy team from advancing in the south. This position may not prevent them from advancing in the south. They're still going to advance if you're taking up this position. Over here, they're very unlikely to, because when they come over here to prepare for their advance, they're going to stay spotted and they're going to be afraid to advance. And if they come over here to prepare to advance, they're going to get spotted. So that is what I believe to be the superior position. And you're going to notice I've been playing it in my most recent spotting games. Okay, so let's move on to the south spawn. I've identified this position here, here, and here. And I've identified heavy tanks across the map. Light tanks, medium tanks, tank destroyers, SPGs. So this position is not very useful. You might be able to spot the medium tank that shows up over here, but he's going to be proximity spotted anyway, so it really doesn't matter. And you might be able to spot a tank that appears in this location, and I doubt you're going to hit this tank. So we got this position here, which is that bush that's halfway between. From here, you're going to spot up over here. You're going to spot those tanks. It's very dangerous to be here because you might be proximity spotted. A lot of people like to play in this position, but it's not a very good position. From here, you're going to spot the tanks over here, and you're going to proximity spot tanks over here. However, you're going to miss all of these positions over here. You're going to miss that, you're going to miss that, you're going to miss that, you're going to miss that. You know, you're going to miss this. There's a lot that you miss from that position. You miss the coverage on the southern half of the map. So then you've got this position here. Now from here, you can spot the majority of tanks in the south of the map. The only thing you're going to miss is the tanks up over here and over here. And they're not going to be spotted by your heavy tanks that are up here. So these tanks will remain unspotted. This guy over here in the A5 area, he's going to be in the bushes, so you're not going to spot him anyway. This guy over here, it doesn't matter if you spot him. No one's going to be able to snipe at him because all your snipers are going to be out of range. Let's check where your snipers are going to be. And that's, okay, that's the 445. So it goes up to 500? They're out of range. So those tanks won't be able to be hit. Let's check from over here. We're going to go out to 500. They're still out of range. So this position right here is not that great of a position. You don't spot enough tanks from here to make it worth it. I believe that this is the best position. It used to be that there was a nice bush over here, but it's not really there anymore, and maybe you can sneak across to this location, but I don't know if you can. I'm going to put it in just for argument's sake. I think there's a bush right here. We're going to measure out 500, or at least there was one there, very small. Okay, so I see where 500 is. We're going to go over here. Okay, I've forgotten where it is. Okay, so this is, did I do 500? Okay, I think I might have done 500 when I meant to do 445. So I'm going to do it again for 445. Okay, I see the spot. We're going to come here. This is 445. So from this position, first of all, you're going to need a small tank like an ELC even 90. There's bushes over here that you can spot it. You can spot all these tanks, including this one here, and maybe get this one over here. But because of the slope of the land, and this is not a high position, you might not be able to spot this tank. In addition, you're going to be able to spot here, 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 and we know you're going to spot tanks that are crossing over here in the backfield. from this position. So if you can get to this position, it might be the best position in the game. It's a little bit risky, and you're not going to be able to do it with the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen or the Sheridan. You're going to need an E25, ELC even 90, a small tank to be able to do it if the bush is still there. So other than that, I recommend this position. So as I've said, I'm showing you these positions. We're going to go back and look at this one. I recommend this position over here. And on this map, I recommend either this position or this position. And the other ones just are not very useful. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.